What's going on, guys? I apologize for it taking so long to get y'all another video. It seems like it's been forever since I posted anything. I've been really busy since turkey season trying to catch up on some video editing and a lot of stuff at work, trying to get the merchandise out there to y'all. I'm so thankful for y'all supporting our channel and for ordering hats and shirts, and especially to my family and friends. Y'all have been very supportive and I really appreciate it. I couldn't do this without y'all. So I got a lot of cool video ideas coming out there to y'all. I've got them written down, been working on them, so definitely keep your eyes out for the new content coming out. I'm pumped for today. I've got a video that I'm going to bring to y'all that I've been working on for a while. I just haven't quite put it together yet, so I'm going to finish that one up, and then I'm also going to bring y'all some bow reviews. So I appreciate y'all watching. Going to load the big old truck up and head up to Grafton Archery, so we'll see you here in a few minutes.
Got him.
Now that's a fish.
Man, look at this beautiful turkey.
First morning.
There he is, guys. Oh, damn. I love this place. Heck yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you. Man, I love doing this stuff so much. I'm so thankful for the life you've blessed me with and the wife you've blessed me with.
All right, guys, well, it feels great to be back up here at Grafton. It seems like it's been forever since I've been here. Like I said, I apologize for it being so long between posting videos for you guys. The last one I posted was probably my Kentucky turkey tour, which I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed making that, and I hope y'all got something out of it. So if you haven't watched that and you're into turkey hunting, go check that out. If you want to hear a little bit of preaching at the end, make sure you check out my the third day where I actually kill a turkey. So anyway, from there, let's go ahead and jump on into what this video is going to be about. I apologize that it's been so long, but I'm pumped for this one. If any of you guys have watched my content in the past, you know at least since I've been doing YouTube, I've shot Hoyt. Not for any particular reason other than each year I've shot these bows. Hoyt has been my favorite, but this year was a little different, and I actually went with a Mathews V3. This is actually my first time ever shooting Mathews, so it has taken a little bit of getting used to with this bow, but I can tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, this is probably the best bow I've ever had. I've been super pumped with it. Right now I'm going through some tuning things with it, trying to get it just perfectly dialed in. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to change the top hats out. I've just got a consistent small right-hand tear, and I've got the rest set at 13/16, which is where Mathews says to set it, so I don't really wanna move that. So I think I'm gonna start working on the top hats. So if you've never seen that, be on the lookout. There's gonna be a video coming out on how to change these top hats out and what it does for your bow. So the main gist of this video is going to be what my new setup is from start to finish, from bow to stabilizer to quiver to everything on this bow. That's what I'm going to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, so like I said, this is the Mathews V3 31. This is what I'm going to shoot this year for sure. I'm not changing it up. I really enjoy this bow so far. I went with the green ambush riser and the subalpine limbs, and then of course I did my standard Buffalo Creek purple string for my grandma who died of lung cancer. So that's why if you've never seen my videos before, this is your first time watching, I always do some type of purple string as well as some sort of a purple fletching in honor of her. So it's no different this year, and this is what I'm running. I went with a green flow green speckled string, and can't remember the name of the purple color, but it's just it's purple. And that's one cool thing about Mathews, especially if you come through these guys up here at Grafton. When you order your bow, you can actually have them customize the string and even the dampeners and stuff like that, which I chose to leave my dampeners black, but you could change those if you wanted to. It is a little bit extra charge, but it's just customizing on your bow, so I really enjoy it. I really like the way these strings turned out. With that being said, I probably will be getting a set of America's Best at least sometime this year. What I like to do, and this is just technique, it doesn't have to be done. There's nothing wrong with these strings. What I like to do since I travel out of state is I like to go ahead and order me a set of custom America's Best strings. The reason I do that is when I get a bow, I go ahead and I shoot the string that came on the bow enough to go ahead and let the string stretch out, get everything set and tuned where I want it to be. And then when my America's Best strings come in, I'll swap them out. I'll put the standard strings that come on the bow back in the America's Best pack, and I'll pack those with me as a spare set. And what that does, and I'll already have a peep sight set up in it, kisser butt, and everything will be set up on this string. And what that does for me is when I go out of state, it's just there. If I bust a string, if something happens, if I fall and hit a rock, whatever it may be, I have that string as a backup. I may have to go into town and try to find an archery shop that I can put it on at with a press, but at least I have it and I'm not waiting on them to order it. So that's why I like to do that. Nothing against zebra strings. I know a lot of guys don't like them. I've personally not had an issue with them, but America's Best, I think, is the best in the business. So if I'm going to replace my strings that come on the bow, that's what it's going to be with. All right, so moving on from there, with my D-loop, I like to serve my D-loop in. On each side of my nock, I like to put serving, and then I'll put my D-loop on each side of that serving material there. I don't actually shoot a kisser button. I actually shoot something, let me get that in focus right there. Hopefully you can see that. All it is serving material that I just kind of double up right there, just enough to where I can get a feel for something in the corner of my mouth, and just kind of lets me know that I'm for sure anchored in where I need to be. For a peep sight, I go with a 3/16. That's what fits my sight housing the best, and that's what I like. It lets in enough light that when I'm in hunting situations, I don't have an issue seeing my pins, but it's also small enough that when I shoot 3D or if I'm shooting out there at distance, it allows me to still stay fine-tuned and shoot better groups. From there, let's go ahead and talk about the quiver that I'm using this year. Last year with my RX4, I went with a 2-piece Hoyt quiver. I didn't really like it, so I went back to my 7-arrow tight spot. This year I went ahead and ordered a 5-arrow tight spot. I just didn't seem to need the extra 2 arrows the quiver is not much difference in size and weight, but I just wanted something that was slightly more streamlined, and so I ended up going with a 5-arrow tight spot this year. I went with the subalpine hood. It looks really good and I really like it. I especially like that sticker right there, the old Buffalo Creek sticker. But anyway, that's my quiver. I really like these tight spots. The main thing for me on a tight spot versus a 2-piece is when I'm traveling and I take and put my bow in my bow case, it's nice to be able to take the quiver off, pack stuff around the bow, and then move the quiver where I want it to be. I found myself having a little bit of an issue packing when I had that 2-piece on my bow. It just seemed to get in the way, and so I went back to a tight spot. One thing I don't know if you saw, on the back of my tight spot, I've actually got some 550 cord put on there, and that's just for hanging. This year is going to be my first year using a saddle, so I'm planning on using that little 550 cord there to actually hang my bow on the tree, and then right now I just have it pulled down out of the way. It just pulls down the back side there. So that's just a little thing I'm going to try this year. Haven't tried it yet, so I can't speak to how good it works. But once I find out, I will let you know on that. So from there, let's talk about my rest. I actually went with the Hamskea Hunter Hybrid this year. Let me see if I can get that in focus right there. The Hamskea Hunter Hybrid. I ended up going with their military green, or whatever their green color is. I can't remember the actual color, but it matches this ambush green riser fairly well. I went with the micro adjust. It does add a little bit of weight. It does add a little bit of complexity to your rest, but I really, really, really recommend a micro just rest. The cool thing about it is you can just really fine tune that rest and get it exactly where you need it. And so far I've been very impressed with the way this rest is done and the way it's built. It's built like a tank. I don't foresee having any issues with it. But like I said, this is my first time using a Hamskea, so I can't really speak to the durability personally. But just based off the way it looks and the way it's operated so far for me, I really like this rest. And I've ran that under the bracket at the bottom of my Mathews limb, and that's another cool thing is instead of having to tie this off somewhere, you can actually just run it under that bracket, and that's what I've done there. So let's see, for the sight, I've just got this sight pretty recently. This is a black gold Ascent Verdict. It's kind of like a little Frankenstein sight. I've put some odds and end pieces there together through Black Gold. I ordered it through these guys here at Grafton, and they had it custom ordered, and Black Gold sent it straight direct to me, which was great. This is an awesome sight. I've been very impressed with it. So the cool thing about this sight is, if you see my videos in the past, you know I've already been shooting Black Gold. I had a 6-inch standard dovetail. I had a 29 thousandths top pin. Let's see, and then I think I went to 3 10s underneath that. What I did this year is I went to a 19 thousandths top pin and also did 3 10 thousandths underneath that. And I went all green. Hopefully you can see that. I went all green with my pins, which green is the easiest color for me to see. I don't have to worry about my yardages. I know what order those are in. And then from there, my sight scrolls. So once I get to my longer yardages, which I don't have sighted in yet on this bow, once I get to my longer yardages, all I do is scroll the sight and I'm ready to go. What I did this year, and it's kind of hard to see because I've got the tape on it, but I actually went to the Pro dovetail, which is a little bit lighter weight. It's a gray gunmetal kind of color. And then it has the knob here where you can take your sight on and off. And that's one of the main reasons why I chose to go to this dovetail. This is their 4.5-inch version, which winds up measuring out at like 5 inches and something. So I put this sight on the farthest back hole, crank it down, and I'm good to go. Been very impressed with this sight so far. Like I said, I'm still tinkering with getting the bow exactly fine-tuned, so still adjusting on the sight, but as far as the sight goes itself, I'm in love with this thing. It's super lightweight, super durable, and it does everything I need it to do. From there, we'll talk about stabilizers. And this is another thing that I'm currently still working on this bow. So as far as stabilizers go, I've got a 10-inch bee stinger, a micro hex on the front. I think is micro hex, I think is what it's called. But it's a bee stinger. I've got it on a 10-degree offset bracket from bee stinger as well. So far I have 1 ounce of weight in the front, and I'm working on 6 ounces of weight in the back. That's what I've got so far. It's like I said, it's a 10-inch front bar, and then I've got the Shrewd back bar bracket here on the back, which if you've seen the Mathews back bar bracket, it's the exact same thing. I just chose to go with the Shrewd brand in case I want to take it off and put it on another bow. It just doesn't read Mathews. It's just, you know, there's no different. There's no mechanical difference between the two. I just chose to go with a brand that wasn't specific to a certain bow. So that's what I've got there. I've been very impressed with it. I actually really like the way this thing adjusts. It's very simple, yet it's complex enough that you get all your adjustments and everything is super tight and sturdy there. On the back, I've got, right now I'm shooting an 8-inch bee stinger with, like I said, 6 ounces of weight. I've got a quick disconnect on this, and I've got a quick disconnect on my front bar. So if I want to take them off, I can just take them off. I had a 6-inch back bar, and I still may go back to that. But right now I'm just working with weights, trying to figure out exactly where this bow holds the best with what amount of weight. And at the current moment, I've got a 8-inch on the back. Like I said, the stabilizer itself is not going to change. It's still the micro hex from bee stinger, which I really like those stabilizers. I like how they're skinny through the shaft and very light, and then all your weight is on the very end of it. Makes it a lot easier, a lot lighter to set this type of stuff up. So back and forth between an 8 and a 6. Right now I'm currently shooting an 8, but that's subject to change. Anyway, that's what I've got on the bow as far as equipment. Another thing is my arrows. I'm still shooting the Easton Axis match grades that I've shot in the past. One difference, however, though, is I went to the stainless steel. Let's see if you can get that in frame. Focus. Come on, baby. Anyway, it's the stainless steel outsert. It slides over your arrow shaft. I really like those, but one thing to keep in mind, and one thing I didn't realize when I ordered it, was the fact that you actually have to sand down the end of your arrow shaft on these Easton Axes just a little bit, enough to get that thing to slide over and to cover the end of your arrow shaft. But I will say, it definitely does strengthen it. And what I did is I took away the brass insert that I had been going with from Easton, and I actually went back to the aluminum insert, went to the stainless steel outsert, and went to 125 grain head this year. So my total arrow weight right now is like 452, and this bow is shooting that right around the 280 mark, plus or minus a couple feet a second. I'm still adjusting on the tuning and stuff, so my speed isn't final. That still is going to move around slightly as I adjust, twist on my cables and stuff like that. So that's still moving around slightly, but that's definitely the arrow that I'm going to shoot this year for everything that I hunt. And this year my plans are to spend 2 weeks hunting elk in Montana with Chandler, which, speaking of the elk hunt, if you haven't looked at the Field Draw Film Tour, you need to go check it out. My film Backcountry Emotions is on there, and it's touring the country right now, so I'm pumped for that. It's an awesome opportunity for Buffalo Creek Outdoors, and I'm just so blessed for everything that's going on with that. So that's my 2021 bow hunting setup this year. This is going to be the Mathews V331. I'm super pumped with this bow. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. There's going to be a couple more videos coming, one of which is going to be an arrow build. Another is going to be final tuning and broadhead tuning of this bow. So if you're interested in those, keep checking out the content. I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already checked out the website to get some merchandise, we got hats, t-shirts, and I've got some of my portraits that I've shot all across the country. So if you haven't checked those out, go check them out. If you haven't came up here and checked these guys out here at Grafton Archery, come check these guys out. They're the real deal guys. They will set you up with what you need. And I appreciate all the help that they've given me over the years, and all the stuff that we do together and work together. It's just been awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Remember to live your life to the fullest and use your passions to bless others. We'll see you on the next one.